You settle into a corner armchair at your favorite local coffee shop, steaming cup in hand, and pull out your laptop to catch up on a few urgent tasks. The first thing you do is connect to the free public Wi-Fi network. It is a seamless, unconscious habit that millions of us perform every single day without a second thought. You open your browser, log into your bank account to check a recent transaction, and then fire off a few work emails. In that brief, seemingly harmless window of time, you have just broadcast your most sensitive digital life across an invisible, unprotected radio frequency. The convenience of free internet at cafes, airports, and hotels masks a sprawling, invisible hunting ground for cybercriminals. What feels like a private connection between your device and the websites you visit is often a wide-open door. Revealing the unseen mechanisms of data theft exposes exactly how your digital privacy is compromised before you even finish your morning coffee. The fundamental flaw with most public networks is their absolute lack of encryption. When you connect to an unsecured network at a transit lounge or a hotel lobby, the data traveling between your smartphone or laptop and the wireless router is transmitted in plain text. Imagine writing your passwords, social security number, and private messages on a postcard and handing it to a stranger to deliver. Anyone with the right, freely available software sitting in that same room can pluck those digital postcards right out of the air. These unsecured networks require no password to join, which means they also lack the basic cryptographic barriers that scramble your information into unreadable code. Cybercriminals know exactly how to exploit this structural weakness, turning a public amenity into a lucrative trap. This vulnerability paves the way for one of the most common and devastating interception techniques, known as man-in-the-middle attacks. In this scenario, a hacker secretly positions their device between your computer and the public Wi-Fi router. You believe you are communicating directly with the internet, but your connection is actually being routed through the attacker's machine. They act as an invisible relay, silently reading, recording, and sometimes even altering the data as it passes through their control. The criminal does not need to break into your laptop or crack complex passwords. They simply sit quietly in the flow of your digital traffic, scooping up your login credentials, session cookies, and financial details as you willingly transmit them. The immediate consequence of this interception is absolute compromise. The moment you type your username and password into a seemingly secure portal while on that compromised connection, the attacker captures those exact keystrokes. You will not see a warning screen, your device will not glitch, and your login will appear completely successful. Yet, the criminal sitting 3 tables away now holds the master keys to your digital identity. They can quietly observe your browsing habits, harvest your personal emails, and map out the financial institutions you frequent. This silent extraction happens in milliseconds, leaving absolutely no trace of the theft on your end. The ripple effect of that single stolen password extends far beyond a compromised email account. Because human nature drives us to reuse passwords across multiple platforms, one intercepted login often unlocks a cascading series of vulnerabilities. The credentials stolen at a local bakery can provide a hacker with direct access to your corporate network, your cloud storage, and your medical records. A localized interception rapidly evolves into a sprawling digital privacy crisis. The boundaries between your personal life and your professional responsibilities dissolve when an attacker uses those recycled keys to move laterally through your digital footprint, escalating their access with every new account they breach. Attackers do not always need to actively insert themselves into your connection. Sometimes they just listen. Through a technique called Wi-Fi sniffing, hackers use specialized software to monitor and record all the unencrypted data packets floating through the airwaves of a public space. They do not interact with your device at all, making their presence entirely undetectable. Like a digital vacuum cleaner, their equipment sucks up every fragment of unsecured data broadcast by every smartphone and laptop in the vicinity. Later, they can run this massive collection of intercepted traffic through automated tools that sift out the valuable nuggets, such as credit card numbers, personal identification details, and proprietary business communications. When passive listening is not enough, Cybercriminals escalate their methods by deploying malicious hotspots known as evil twins. An attacker will set up a rogue Wi-Fi router and give it a name identical to the legitimate network you are trying to join. If you are sitting in a terminal waiting for a flight, you might see two networks named Airport Free Wi-Fi. The evil twin is configured with a stronger signal, tricking your smartphone or laptop into automatically connecting to the hacker's equipment instead of the official airport router. Once you are tethered to their rogue access point, the attacker controls everything you see and do online, directing you to fraudulent websites designed to harvest even more of your sensitive information. The success of these rogue networks relies heavily on our innate desire for convenience and our unquestioning trust in familiar names. We are conditioned to seek out connectivity wherever we go, often ignoring the subtle red flags that indicate a network might be dangerous. When your device prompts you to join a familiar-sounding hotspot, the urge to clear notifications or check messages overrides your critical thinking. This blind trust is the exact human flaw that makes public Wi-Fi such a dangerous environment. The technology itself is only half of the equation. The other half is our willingness to prioritize temporary convenience over long-term security. This manipulation of human behavior is the cornerstone of social engineering, which is the practice of manipulating people into giving up confidential information rather than hacking their computer systems directly. Instead of writing complex code to break through a firewall, attackers simply trick you into opening the door for them. On a compromised public network, social engineering takes the form of deceptive pop-ups or fake login pages that look identical to the services you trust. The hacker relies on your expectation that a hotel Wi-Fi system will ask for your email address or room number, using that anticipated interaction as a weapon against you. This behavioral manipulation frequently paves the way for phishing, a deceptive tactic where criminals send fake messages or display fraudulent websites pretending to be trusted entities to steal sensitive data. When you are connected to an evil twin network, the hacker can intercept your attempt to visit your bank's website and redirect you to a perfect, pixel-for-pixel replica that they control. You type your credentials into this forged page, believing you are secure, but you are actually handing your information directly to the criminal. The digital bait is swallowed whole, and the attacker immediately uses those freshly stolen credentials to access your real account, completely bypassing any standard security measures you thought were protecting you. Once your information is extracted through these localized attacks, it rarely stays with the original hacker. It is quickly funneled into the dark web, a hidden part of the internet accessible only through special software, often used for illegal trade and anonymous communication. This shadowy marketplace operates like a massive, unregulated bazaar where stolen digital identities are bought and sold in bulk. The login credentials intercepted at your local coffee shop are bundled with thousands of others, creating massive databases of compromised accounts. Your private information becomes a mere commodity, traded between specialized criminal syndicates who focus on exploiting different aspects of your stolen identity. The commodification of your digital life on these hidden forums is staggering in its efficiency. A complete profile containing your financial logins, social media passwords, and personal identification can be purchased for a few dollars. The buyers of this data are often automated criminal operations that use specialized software to test your stolen credentials across thousands of different websites simultaneously. This means the single mistake of joining an unsecured network can result in fraudulent credit card charges, drained bank accounts, and hijacked social media profiles happening all at once, orchestrated by unseen actors located thousands of miles away. The consequences of these stolen credentials can escalate into catastrophic organizational threats, most notably ransomware, which is malicious software that locks your files or entire computer systems until a sum of money is paid to the attackers. If the password intercepted on a public network belongs to a corporate IT administrator or a hospital employee, the hackers do not just steal data, they paralyze entire institutions. They use that single compromised login to infiltrate the organization's central network, silently deploying encryption software that cripples critical infrastructure. The initial theft was small and quiet, but the resulting extortion demand can run into the millions of dollars. The escalation from a casual coffee shop interception to a full-scale institutional lockdown demonstrates the interconnected fragility of our modern networks. Attackers use the seemingly insignificant data harvested from public Wi-Fi as a foothold, meticulously mapping out the internal architecture of the businesses their victims work for. They lurk in the background for weeks or months, escalating their privileges and identifying the most critical databases. By the time the malicious software is finally triggered and the ransom note appears on thousands of company monitors, the origin of the breach has long been forgotten. Many users mistakenly believe that seeing a padlock icon in their browser means they are completely safe, even on an unsecured network. While HTTPS encryption does protect the contents of your communication with specific websites, it is not a silver bullet against a sophisticated local attacker. Advanced interception techniques can sometimes strip away this encryption, forcing your browser to communicate over older, insecure protocols without you ever noticing the change. Furthermore, the padlock only secures the data within that specific browser tab. It does nothing to protect the background data your applications are constantly transmitting, leaving a massive portion of your digital footprint exposed to anyone listening. Protecting yourself in this hostile environment requires a fundamental shift in how you connect to the outside world, starting with the mandatory use of a VPN. A virtual private network creates a secure, heavily encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet, shielding your data from anyone sharing the local network. Even if you accidentally connect to an evil twin hotspot or a hacker is actively sniffing the airwaves, all they will intercept is an unreadable stream of scrambled gibberish. The cryptographic barrier established by this software renders local interception tactics completely useless, restoring the privacy that public Wi-Fi strips away. Beyond encryption, you must take active control over your device's connectivity habits to prevent accidental exposure. Turn off the setting that allows your smartphone or laptop to automatically join known networks, as this feature is easily exploited by attackers broadcasting familiar network names. Make it a habit to regularly purge your list of saved Wi-Fi connections, forcing your device to ask for permission before tethering itself to a new access point. When dealing with highly sensitive tasks like banking or accessing corporate systems, bypass public Wi-Fi entirely and rely on your cellular data connection, which offers a significantly higher baseline of security against local interception. The convenience of ubiquitous internet access is a modern marvel, but it is built on an architecture that inherently prioritizes connection over protection. The hidden dangers of data theft are not abstract concepts. They are active, automated processes happening in the very spaces where we relax, travel, and work. By understanding the mechanics of these invisible threats and deploying robust defenses, you strip attackers of their easiest targets. You hold the power to transform a risky public convenience back into a secure tool, ensuring that your digital life remains exclusively yours, no matter where you choose to connect.